Donald was an experienced traveler and an avid user of Airbnb. He loved the convenience and affordability of renting unique accommodations in different parts of the world. His latest adventure took him to a quaint little town nestled in the mountains. He had booked a charming cabin through the Airbnb platform, eager to experience the serenity of nature. As Donald arrived at the cabin, he was greeted by the host, a friendly middle-aged woman named Margaret. She showed him around the property and made him feel at home. The cabin was everything he had hoped for, rustic yet cozy, with breathtaking views of the surrounding forests. The first few days were peaceful. Donald spent his time exploring the hiking trails and capturing the beauty of nature through his camera lens. However, one evening, as he returned to the cabin after a long day of hiking, he noticed something strange. Margaret's demeanor had changed. She appeared restless and worried, her eyes filled with an unmistakable anxiety. Donald couldn't help but ask if everything was all right. Margaret hesitated for a moment before finally confessing, "I can't find my granddaughter, Lily. She went missing 2 days ago." Donald felt a chill run down his spine. He offered his help and insisted on reporting the incident to the authorities. Margaret reluctantly agreed, hoping that someone would be able to locate Lily soon. As the police investigated Lily's disappearance, Donald couldn't shake off a feeling of unease. He started asking around the town, discreetly inquiring about any unusual occurrences or suspicious individuals. The townspeople seemed on edge, avoiding eye contact and providing vague responses. One evening, Donald stumbled upon an old newspaper article in the local library's archives. It detailed a tragic incident that had occurred years ago. A young girl had vanished without a trace in the very same town. The article mentioned an abandoned house deep in the woods, rumored to be haunted. Intrigued and sensing a potential lead, Donald decided to explore the abandoned house. Armed with a flashlight, he cautiously made his way through the dense forest, feeling a mix of apprehension and determination. The house stood dilapidated and desolate, its crumbling walls bearing the weight of forgotten secrets. As Donald ventured inside, the creaking floorboards echoed through the empty rooms. The atmosphere was suffocating, and a sense of foreboding grew with each step he took. Just as Donald was about to give up, convinced that his hunch had led him astray, he stumbled upon a hidden compartment beneath the floor. Inside, he discovered a collection of faded photographs, a chilling revelation connecting the disappearance of Lily to the girl from the newspaper article. Armed with the newfound evidence, Donald delved deeper into the history of the town, determined to unravel the dark mysteries surrounding the disappearances. He reached out to the families of the missing girls, hoping to gather more information that could lead him closer to the truth. Through his investigations, Donald discovered a pattern of vanishing children that spanned decades. The disappearances seemed to occur every few years, with each case becoming colder and more perplexing than the last. The town had become a graveyard of unanswered questions and shattered lives. As Donald continued his relentless pursuit of the truth, he found himself facing resistance. Some townspeople warned him to abandon his investigation, claiming that delving into the past would bring about dire consequences. But Donald couldn't turn a blind eye to the pain and anguish that haunted the families of the missing children. He discovered a network of individuals who had been investigating the town's dark secrets for years, quietly working to expose the truth. They shared their findings with Donald, revealing a hidden web of corruption and cover-ups that reached high into the town's influential circles. Together, they unearthed a shocking revelation. The disappearances were not the result of random acts. They were part of a twisted conspiracy, orchestrated by a powerful group with sinister intentions. Children were being taken, their innocent lives sacrificed for reasons unknown. Determined to bring an end to the nightmare, Donald and his newfound allies organized a public gathering. They urged the townspeople to confront the darkness that had plagued their community for far too long. The event stirred a wave of collective courage as individuals shared their stories and united against the perpetrators. The town's secrets were finally exposed to the world. The corrupt officials, who had hidden behind a facade of respectability, were arrested, and the truth was laid bare. The families of the missing children found solace in knowing that their loved ones hadn't been forgotten. Although the scars of the past would never fully heal, the town began to rebuild itself. With newfound transparency and a collective resolve to prevent such horrors from happening again, the community came together, vowing to protect its children and ensure a brighter future. As for Donald, he continued his travels, forever changed by the experience. He became an advocate for justice, shedding light on hidden atrocities and giving voice to the voiceless. The memory of the haunted town and the children who had vanished would forever be etched in his heart, serving as a constant reminder of the power of uncovering the truth. Oliver was an adventurous and curious 8-year-old boy. He loved exploring new places and learning about different cultures. His parents, Emily and Mark, often planned family vacations that allowed Oliver to experience new adventures. This year, they decided to book an ermine in a quaint little town nestled in the mountains. The ermine was a charming cottage with a picturesque view of the surrounding landscape. As soon as they arrived, Oliver's eyes widened with excitement. The owner of the cottage, Mr. Thompson, greeted them warmly and showed them around. As the days went by, Oliver began to notice something strange about the cottage. Whenever he explored the nearby woods, he felt like he was being watched. The feeling grew stronger with each passing day. At first, Oliver dismissed it as his imagination playing tricks on him, but the unease continued to gnaw at him. One evening, while Oliver's parents were busy preparing dinner, he decided to investigate further. He tiptoed out of the cottage and followed a narrow trail that led deeper into the woods. The sun had already set, and the darkness was beginning to envelop the surroundings. Oliver's heart raced as he ventured into the unknown. After walking for what seemed like an eternity, Oliver stumbled upon an abandoned cabin hidden among the trees. It was dilapidated and covered in overgrown vines. Curiosity overpowered his fear, and Oliver cautiously entered the cabin. Inside, he discovered a collection of old photographs scattered across a dusty wooden table. The photos depicted families who had previously stayed in the cottage he and his parents were currently renting. Oliver's eyes widened in horror as he noticed one particular photograph. It showed a family with a little boy who looked strikingly similar to him. Oliver's mind raced with fear and confusion. Who were these people, and why did they have a photo of a family that resembled his own? Suddenly, a sound from outside startled him. Panicking, Oliver quickly grabbed the photograph and dashed out of the cabin, racing back to the safety of his own ermine cottage. Back inside, Oliver trembled as he showed the photograph to his parents. Emily and Mark were both shocked and concerned. They had no idea how such a photograph could have ended up in that old cabin. Fear gripped their hearts as they realized that something sinister might be lurking in their midst. That night, as Oliver lay in bed, he couldn't shake off the feeling that he was being watched. The sound of footsteps outside his window sent chills down his spine. He pulled the covers over his head, praying for morning to arrive quickly. Just as the first rays of sunlight peeked through the curtains, Oliver heard his parents' frantic cries. He rushed to their room, only to find it empty. Panic consumed him as he realized his parents were nowhere to be found. It was as if they had vanished into thin air. Oliver's heart raced, and tears streamed down his face. He was alone in a strange place, with no idea what had happened to his parents. The photograph he had found in the abandoned cabin became his only clue. Determined to uncover the truth and find his parents, Oliver embarked on a perilous journey into the unknown backslash. Oliver's mind raced with worry as he clutched the photograph tightly in his hand. He knew he had to be brave and find out what had happened to his parents. With a deep breath, he mustered up his courage and decided to seek help from Mr. Thompson, the owner of the ermine cottage. Oliver rushed to Mr. Thompson's house, pounding on the door with desperation. When the door finally swung open, Oliver found himself face to face with a stern-looking man. "Please, sir," Oliver pleaded, tears welling up in his eyes. "My parents are missing. I found this photograph, and I think something terrible has happened." Mr. Thompson's expression softened as he examined the photograph. He invited Oliver inside, where he shared a shocking revelation. The family in the picture was indeed Oliver's family, but the photograph was taken years ago. Mr. Thompson explained that he had been the owner of the cottage for decades, and the cottage had a dark secret. Many years ago, a family similar to Oliver's had stayed in the cottage. They had also gone missing under mysterious circumstances. The local authorities investigated, but no trace of the family was ever found. Since then, every few years, another family with a striking resemblance to the previous one would unknowingly book the cottage, only to disappear without a trace. Oliver's heart sank as he realized the danger he and his parents had unknowingly walked into. Determined to find them, Oliver pleaded with Mr. Thompson for help. Together, they delved deeper into the history of the cottage and the disappearances that plagued it. They discovered that the cottage was built on land with a dark history. Legend had it that an ancient curse had befallen the area, causing families to vanish without a trace. The curse was believed to be connected to an underground labyrinth hidden beneath the cottage. Oliver and Mr. Thompson decided to venture into the labyrinth, hoping to find answers and rescue Oliver's parents. With flashlights in hand, they descended into the depths of the winding tunnels. The air grew colder, and eerie whispers seemed to echo through the darkness. After what felt like an eternity, they stumbled upon a hidden chamber deep within the labyrinth. There, Oliver's parents were found, unconscious but unharmed. It appeared that they had been trapped by an unseen force. With great effort, Oliver and Mr. Thompson managed to free Oliver's parents and bring them back to the surface. As they emerged from the labyrinth, a sense of relief washed over them. The curse that had haunted the cottage for years had been broken, and Oliver's family was finally safe. Grateful for Mr. Thompson's assistance, Oliver's parents decided to leave the cottage behind and return home. They couldn't bear the thought of putting their family at risk again. The memory of their harrowing experience would forever remain with them, a constant reminder of the darkness that lurks in unexpected places. In the aftermath, Oliver and his parents became advocates for safety and awareness in the vacation rental industry. They shared their story, urging others to research their accommodations thoroughly and be vigilant about any unusual occurrences. Though scared by the ordeal, Oliver emerged stronger and wiser. He continued to explore the world with his family, but they always made sure to prioritize safety above all else. And so, the tale of Oliver's nightmare came to an end, reminding us all that beneath the allure of adventure, danger can sometimes hide, waiting to pounce on the unsuspecting.